Hi, this is Rohit Bhardwaj, and you are watching News9 Live. With me is Kaustubh Radkar. He is a triathlon coach and also a supreme athlete, as anybody who runs Ironman marathons. So, Kaustubh, nice to have you on the show, and it's a pleasure to speak to you and get to know more insights about running and how things have emerged during the pandemic. So, if you can start off with your opening comments as to how running has changed in the last decade. You have competed in more than 29 Ironman, if I am correct, triathlons. So, you may go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Actually, I just finished my 30th Ironman, so I'm
Oh, sorry.
sitting at 30 now.
Thanks for correcting.
uh,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, I think in the last 10 years, India has seen a good trend of people translating not just from becoming fitness enthusiasts, the weekend warriors for fitness, to actually now start to invest in their own health. And
Right.
running is the easiest way to do it. There's been an explosion of running events. There have been instances where there are multiple events on the same weekend happening in same parts of the city, which obviously has encouraged a lot more people to whatever it is, run 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, whatever their own challenge is. um, Obviously, uh, there has been a craze that Indians have now adapted to run outside India as well. So the world majors or the Comrades ultra marathon, several ultra marathon worldwide. So people are not only just aspiring to do runs in India, they also want to go now and sort of use sports as a way uh, to be a tourist and see different parts of the world, enjoy some phenomenal races which have made a name for themselves.
Mhm.
And a different trend is that a lot more people now want to come to the Mumbai Marathon, run the full marathon in Mumbai, and
Right.
what used to be the Airtel half marathon in Delhi or the TCS 10K in Bengaluru. So India is now reverse attracting athletes from all over the world. Some of the top athletes of the world are now coming to India, which is phenomenal for the sport to grow in India.
Being an active runner yourself and also a coach for the Garmin running club, what are your tips for somebody who is starting off as a beginner into running, and what are the important factors he needs to consider, and how he needs to build on his running in terms of what kind of distance he could start up with, and what should be the ideal distance he should maintain for a certain period of time.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake people make when they start their running journey is that they want to hurry things up. And that's my number one advice to anyone who wants to take running is take your time.
Mhm.
Just because you ran in high school or in college doesn't mean that you have the right tendency or the right muscles. A lot has changed in the past 10, 15 years, whatever that is. So for a newbie person, give yourself 3 months to run a 5K. That's ample time to do everything right. Newbie runners often make the mistake that they don't do a proper warm up, or they do a proper cool down, or
Mhm.
they stretch after the runs. These are very, very important things to stay injury free. And that's why a lot more runners tend to get injured, because they tend to hurry the process.
Mhm.
uh, Invest in a smart watch. That is a great way to go. All of these high end, not necessarily high end now, your basic watches will also give you your basic parameters, your heart rate, your pulse ox. Follow the zone guidelines, and that way you can you know make running a lifelong activity, which is what I firmly believe that people should do, is that they take up sport which becomes part of their life. It should not be a chore that, oh, abhi kal दौड़ने का है, अब क्या करूं. It should just come simultaneously and naturally. It's something you look forward to.
You have already faced the ultimate test or the endurance test by running 30 Ironman marathons. So, uh, what kind of motivation or inspiration, from where did you get it to run an Ironman, and when did you actually start up yourself personally running, and when did you think that you should switch to an Ironman marathon or a triathlon in that case?
So I grew up as a swimmer. and so swimming has been an integral part of my life ever since I was 8, 9 years old.
Wow.
And I swam competitive for Maharashtra, then swam competitive for India. Went to the US on a swimming scholarship, and after my swimming career ended in 2004, I picked up running as a means to stay fit. So from 2005 to 2007, I did multiple marathons because that was the craze in the US at that time. And then I was looking for the next bigger challenge, and my friends told me about Ironman. So in 2008, I landed up doing my first Ironman race, and I just was attracted to the race, and I said, okay, can I do 5 and can I do 10? And now I'm sitting at 30. Um, just the discipline my parents instilled in me at a very young age. I really enjoy my workouts. I look forward to doing multiple workouts in a day. That keeps me engaged, motivated. Being a coach, obviously, I get to help out a lot of my athletes want to become Ironmans at some stage. So there is extra motivation to do workouts with them or to help them get across that Ironman finish line.
Mm-hmm.
I think inspiration you have to find within yourself, and that's what I try to do. Obviously, having parents who have been very active from the youngest time. I remember my parents going for a walk early in the morning, and now they're in their 70s and still do it. So having that tone at home really helps as well.
What do you think needs to be done? Like triathlons don't happen in India. So how can you encourage more and more people to become part of it? You yourself have now become a role model yourself now. So how do you encourage people to get into a triathlon and then maybe move on to graduate into an Ironman?
Well, fortunately, that trend is changing. A lot more people have now started doing Ironmans, at least half Ironmans in India. So that has been a welcome change. Unfortunately, there's the government aspect of that side is that there's no triathlete who has won either the Arjuna Award or the Tenzing Norgay Award. And I always say this, that there has to be someone who gets these awards, because for young kids, a huge part for young kids is to become an Arjuna awardee or whatever that is. And we look at our superstars also because of the awards they have won. So if and when that happens, I'm sure a lot more youngsters will be encouraged to take up the sport. There's a future in the sport. That is what they will feel. Coaching opportunities have exploded in India, not just in triathlon, but all other sports. So now youngsters do take a look at sport as a career option as well. The biggest hurdle, as I said, is swimming, right? We just don't have enough swimming pools, and that any triathlon starts with that. And to add more to it is that the challenge of open water. Unfortunately, we just don't have access to good quality open water. But a lot of the cities now where triathlete pockets are there, like in Pune, like in Kolhapur, there is a significant movement going on where there are small lakes around where we actively go and talk to the villagers about creating a quality ecosystem where they allow us to swim, and we teach them basic fundamentals, what to throw, what not to throw, so preserve our environment as well.
Like, when do you think that India can produce a triathlete which can go and compete outside in international competitions, something like an Olympics or an Asian Games or even the IAF curated events?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good young triathletes who have really raised the bar. Obviously, Olympic triathlon is a shorter distance, so it's a 1500-meter swim, a 40-kilometer bike, and a 10-kilometer run. There are athletes who are aspiring to go both for the Asian Games, which unfortunately now have been postponed, and also for the Commonwealth Games. They have added a team element now in triathlon as well, both for the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics. But again, if one team qualifies either for the whenever they happen now, 23 Asian Games or the Commonwealth Games, that may open the door for an Indian athlete to qualify for the Olympics.
In the last decade or so, a lot of this fitness technology has been created. And how much of an assistance is it assistance an athlete gets when you have such cutting edge technology, like something like a Garmin with you, or even a lot of other such technology available in the market which can assist runners. This week is also called the Global Running Week. I'm sure you know.
See, it has aid for both an amateur and obviously a professional. An amateur who doesn't necessarily have a coach, Garmin watch, or most of your smart watches now will tell you how far you ran, what your average heart rate was. They will give you tips what you should do for your next run. They will talk to you how much recovery time you need. That way guide you that you may have to space out your sessions 2 days or 3 days, whatever that is. A lot of these watches will now tell you how well rested you are when you wake up in the morning. And sleep obviously plays a big role in your recovery, and if you're not recovered, the likelihood of you getting injured is very high as well. So in that sense, again, but there has to be someone who understands all this data and the jargon uh, that the watch throws out.
That was Kaustubh Radkar, my dear friends. Please like, share, and subscribe to News9 Live and News9 Sports for more insights and analysis and updates on sports and about fitness and active lifestyle. Thank you so much.